this is Sarah, the Stitchin Mommy, and it's Tuesday, May 28th, 2024, here for my weekly cross-stitching update, and I'm very excited with what I have to share with you today. 2 finishes, and lots of fun new things because it's going to be June here very soon, so I have new things to work on this month. So I guess I didn't receive anything this week, I don't think, so we'll just jump right into travel stitching. I worked on my turtles every Sunday, so I worked on this on Sunday and a little bit on Monday actually, because I normally take cats and hearts with me to my in-laws when we have dinner on Monday nights, but I was in between pieces and I didn't want to bring a brand new start with me to work on while chit-chatting. I didn't figure that was a good idea. So I took this and did a little bit more dark green in my May turtle, so it's always helpful. So here is this one. This is 28 count Caribbean blue, Jobelin, 1/1 full cross. It's by Whipgo. And I got all my patches done on Sunday in the May block, so that's filling in nicely. It cooled down again, so this turtle is a lot cooler than I thought it would be. This week might get up into the 80s again, which are the lighter, like yellow, more yellowy colors. So we'll see. It's definitely a cooler month or cooler year than it has been in the past, and I am really enjoying it. Fantastic. So summer has not yet officially sprung here in Southern California, at least my part of Southern California. It's been really nice. So I did a little bit of that. And then Cats and Hearts, I was working on April and I got this done on Friday. So here is this one. I'll pull it closer for the before and after. And it turned out so nice, as they all do. I'm really enjoying these. These are 25 count even weave, 1/1, full cross, and I'm switching, doing all as called for except for the Kit Kats, which are called for 310, and I'm doing 535. Everything is all DMC. So she does a good amount of shading. So usually if there's a color, she'll do 5 shades of that color. So this one had 5 shades of red, 5 shades of green, 5 shades of yellow. Some of them have only had one set of, I think January only had one set of 5 shades of the turquoisey blue color, but a lot of them have 2 or 3 color families. This next one I'm doing, which is June, is also has 3 sets of colors. So yeah, so this is fun. I switched it out already and moved on to the next one, but not really. I didn't really, like I have literally 2 stitches, but I'm gonna skip May and go straight to June because we're almost in June. And rather than feeling perpetually behind, I'll jump ahead and then pick up May probably next year. If I have, you know, a handful that didn't get done, I'll kind of hop over the ones if I'm really dragging, so that I don't get too far behind. Because once I start one of these, I don't want to stop because I really like seeing how they come together. So this is my start. I literally just counted, found the center and counted up to the top of the cat's paw so that I can start stitching on this in the car today during school pickups. So that is ready to go. We'll see how much I can get done on that this week. Probably get the most travel time. Next week, not as much. And into the summer, it will be very spotty. So we'll have to see how that goes. I might, yeah, I don't know. Hopefully I can keep up on those over the summer and at least chip away at them and not have too many that I have to skip before the fall comes back. I also worked on my frosted pumpkin stitchery piece that I'm trying to finish by the end of the year. This one was last year's mystery stitch along that wrapped up in February. So I'm trying to finish it here by December. It's going very slow. So this will probably make some appearances in my focus piece rotation and give it, you know, a chunk here, a chunk there to get it done a little quicker. Because right now I'm only working on it for about an hour when I talk with my sister every Friday. which is good. It's better than nothing, but it's slow. I don't know that I'll finish it this year if this is all I work on. The only times I work on it. So same with Shine Bright Sampler. I want to get caught up on that. So I might pop in a rotation of that as well in between my focus on a finished pieces that I have on a list. So I'll talk more about that in a little bit. But here is this one all together, and I'll do a before and after of the top scene. This is 28 count Ice Blue Lugana 1/1 full cross with a fancy floss conversion. So I finished some dark burgundy in like the tent and in the jousting scene, and I started in on some white. That might have been all I did. Sometimes it's hard to remember. The tent burgundy took a good amount of time. There's a fair amount of stitches in there. So I have white on my needle. So this coming week, I'll finish out my white strand and then I'll go back to some colors, because I do like filling in the colors. But the white's got to get done too. So every little bit, I'll put a strand of cloud in. I also worked on my Soda Stitch flower teapot this week because I talked with Desiree for a little bit. So we're working on this together, and she started in the middle. So she's been working on these fun flowers, and I started at the top. So I'm kind of working my way down. And this time I worked mainly in the lid of the teapot, which has been fun. And I even put in most of a strand of backstitching. I had to put some back because I couldn't go any farther from where I had finished stitching X's, but that's okay. So here is where this one's at now. This is on 32 count linen in Tiki Oasis by Oak Crown Studios. It's a very soft tealy color, which is very pretty. So I worked on some the yellow part of the teapot, and then I did some backstitching, and then I started in on the greens. So I'll do the green leaves next time, and I'll do more cross stitching, you know, so that it makes it worth getting out a length of backstitching. All the backstitching is black, which is nice, so I don't have to worry about multiple colors and multiple strands, which is helpful. So I'll just keep filling in from the top down in that teapot until I get enough finished to do another length of backstitching, and that's kind of how I'll work that one. Okay, my main projects this week started with Bear Time Stories, which I'm working on for my middle son. This is by Heaven and Earth Designs, artwork by Randall Spangler. It's super cute. This is the mini, and I'm making it even more mini by stitching it on 40 count, 1/1, half cross, and I got a lot done on this. So this is where I got to. You'll probably see a good amount of difference, so hold up for a second. 355 stitches on Monday, 577 stitches on Tuesday, for a total of 932, and I completed 5 colors in total. So I'm color completing this extreme cross country, and so I got the next 5 colors that were on the list with the least amount of colors, and they were all high hundreds. I think might now be in like early 200s. But you can see more of the book coming in. I did a good amount of greens on the dragon. What else did I do? I don't even know. It's been too long. It's only been a week, but anyways, I'm sure you can see some differences. Super fun. So that's been enjoyable. Half stitches make it go quickly, and trying to color complete things, you know, you have a little goal to get to the end of that color, and then you get to pick a new color, and then you get to have a goal to get to the end of that color. And so it's really pretty motivating. Eventually it's going to get to the point where the colors are too big to finish in one day or one session potentially. So, but those ones, by the time I get there, I think it'll be a lot more fill-in, so might go a little faster. So. Then I worked on Dragon Ride for 3 days and got, let's see, how do I want to show this? I guess I could just show you. I've been working on Dragon Ride for my middle son, the same one I'm doing Bear Time Stories for. I am doing that for his high school graduation, which isn't for 4 years. But this one, I didn't have a set goal, but I thought, you know what? It'd be fun to just knock this out, get it done by the time he graduates middle school, which is this week. So I ended up getting very close to, well, the little twisty, thick back stitching that kind of winds around. That was a little discouraging. I was looking forward to doing it because it's really fun. But once I got into it, I realized it goes a lot slower than I had anticipated because there's just a lot of it. And so I was only creeping down the edges of the border. I'm like, I'm gonna need more time on this than I had planned. So I was getting nervous and decided to give it Sunday as well. So I did not work on spring montage this Sunday. Probably won't come out again until next spring. But that's okay. I will probably be working on spring montage for the next 50 years. Dragon Ride needed to get done. So I gave it Sunday and managed to get all the border done except for like this much. And then Monday I worked on that border and then all the beading in the border. So it is done. Yay! I'm so excited. This has been a long time coming. My son, like earlier this week, he kind of came over and looked at it because I finished the dragon on Wednesday, the first day that I got it out. And so after that, I was like, look, it's done. You can like come see stuff. So he was all excited and looking at all the details. So he was he's very happy with it. So without further ado, here is before and then full screen. And then here is completed after. So the main difference is the border, but I did have some purple backstitching left that I did as well in the dragon since you saw it last. So this is 28 count, light blue even weave by MCG Textiles that I got at Hobby Lobby, I think, before it went out of business. The MCG Textiles went out of business. Mostly 2/2. The man is charted 1/1. And I had talked at one point about how I should do the backstitching. All the backstitching, except for this twisty bit in the border, is a 1-strand backstitch. But I didn't know how to backstitch him, if I should do over 1 fabric thread or over 2 fabric threads. And I decided to do mostly over 2 fabric threads because over 1 would have taken eons and you could hardly see it. So sometimes it looks a little chunky with over 2, but there's a lot of diagonal places where it's over 2 or 3 anyways. So I figured, you know what, it's fine. I think I did over 1 more consistently in the hands and face to make sure it was a little more detailed, but yeah. And then this border, there's beads in it which sparkle, probably not as much in camera, but they sparkle a lot in person. They're little petite beads, gold, and these alternate kind of a tealy color and a purple color in each little chunk, and then the rest are gold. They're all petites. And what I was thinking when I had most of it beaded last night, it was it kind of reminded me of like the treasure that you find in a dragon's lair. He's surrounded by his treasure. So I thought that was fun. It's very sparkly. So I will probably do a behind the camera close-up of this as well, because it focuses a little better that way. So I'll probably do that as well, so you can see some of the stitches a little closer up. Lots of blends, fractional stitches around the edges of everything. But in general, this one is not unreasonable to stitch. Some Teresa Wenslers are a little more challenging if they've got a landscape. That can be hard to see the pattern and everything. So this is a nice one. You can find it in Stitcher's World magazine, September 1999. I believe that's the only place, if you find that on the secondhand market, that you can still find this, because it has been discontinued. So anyways, I'll probably pop in here the behind the camera version, and then I'll come back and finish sharing everything else I worked on. All right, so here is my finished dragon ride, and it's a lot warmer in person, but let's see. Does that help you see the colors a little better? Maybe? I don't know. But at least I'll do some close-ups of the stitching. You can see the beads and this two-stranded twisty border that I kind of wound through there. Everything is backstitched. This twisty bit is 2 strands, a blend of 2 strands actually, and everything else backstitching is 1 strand. Here's the 1/1 man, and his backstitching is 1/2 most places, except for his face. I tried to get a little more particular. Yeah, there's blends, there's fractionals, but I love the when the backstitching goes through the fractionals, how it just pops. Yeah, and I'm super happy with it. My son is super happy with it, so that's what's important. The only thing I changed was this very last color of half stitching. It stood out too starkly on my blue fabric because it's called for like a platinum, I think. So I made this last color 1 strand and then it blended in better. So that's the only change that I made. And I just love how the gold pops on it. And it is a warmer fabric in person. It's kind of washing out a little bit, but that's okay. I think if I measured correctly, I should be able to get this into a 11x14 standard size frame. So I'm gonna be looking for that this week and hopefully get that framed up and I can show you the finished framed piece next week. That would be fantastic. Okay, so after I did my first 3 days on Dragon Ride, I did work on, oh, actually it was 2 days on Dragon Ride plus a little bit to finish a string. And then I worked for most of 2 days on Patchwork Quilt Room. And then I came back and did Dragon Ride for another 2 days. So it was like 4 days for the most part on Dragon Ride to get that one done. Patchwork Quilt Room is a fun one. And it's one that has kind of gotten neglected the other times I've pulled it out because I think I started it on a whim, so I only got a tiny little start, and then the next time I worked on it, I didn't get a whole lot of time either. So I was really hoping to give this some attention. So when Dragon Ride, it became clear I needed to give that more attention. I didn't want to take it away from this one, because this one has gotten the short end of the stick multiple times. So I'm like, okay, I'll take it away from Spring Montage. That one's got a bad rap all of the month of May anyways. I haven't been able to work on it hardly at all, but it got work in April and I'll work on it again. It's fine. But I really wanted to spend some time on this and I had fun. So this is Quick Stitch Patchwork Quilt Room, artwork by Ciro Marchetti. And this is already a crop of a larger design and then I'm cropping it more. So I'm just doing this part. What I worked on now was, this curtain was already finished. So I worked on grass. This butterfly is just barely, you can see the outline started. And then some of this pot of flowers and the window frame there. That's kind of what's coming into play. One downside to this one that I noticed is there's a lot of confetti where I have been pulling symbols. So I was hoping to fill in some more sections, but instead, because there's a lot of different colors left in the block I was pulling symbols from. So I ended up stitching the color in a whole bunch of little areas and then going back, picking another symbol, one stitch there and a bunch of other places. So I didn't get anything fully finished, which would have been nice, but I could see more of the picture coming into play and it's looking fun. So this is 40 count Verdal, just like Bear Time Stories, 1/2 half cross, and this is where I got to. Pretty happy with my progress. Oh, I forgot to add it up. 462 stitches on Friday and 502 on Saturday. So not quite 1,000, but close. And I was pulling symbols in here mostly. I did some green as well, but those colors came over here in this part of the wood part of the window, and then also in the flower pot here. And there's a butterfly showing up here too. So I'm thinking, because it's a long skinny piece, I might try to fill things in down before moving over. I won't get back to this next year most likely, but in my next rotation, I'll probably keep picking symbols kind of in this chunk with the green, you know, and just trying to pull it down, you know, finish the flower, butterfly, the flowers, you know, and kind of work down before I move over. Because I think that'll be fun to see things finished. It's cool. This piece is cool with how there's lots of little items that you can actually see coming into focus. So it's really fun. I'm happy with what I got done this time, and I'm looking forward to working it again next year whenever it comes out. So, and then, yeah, I worked on Dragon Ride. I don't think anything else here has been worked on, so I think it's now into plans. So this is the last week of May, and I have, because I worked on Dragon Ride yesterday, that would normally be when I would start working on a family piece. But because I didn't film yesterday, I thought, you know what, I'll just keep working on Dragon Ride, try to get that done, and kind of shift things. So I have one more day available for a focus piece. So what am I going to pull out when Dragon Ride is done, you ask? Topsy Turvy Tea. This is going to be my next one. It's by Counting Puddles, and I am very excited to get back to this. This was a gift from Carla. We met at the Stitchinanigans retreat in Las Vegas, and she also gifted the fabric and Treenway silks that are called for. So this is, I think, grape ice 30 count linen, which is slightly different than that called for linen, but it's similar. It's very pretty. And Carla ended up not finishing hers because the fabric was so loosey-goosey, but I would love to finish mine and give it to her because I think that would be a really sweet treat. So this is how far I've gotten to on mine, and I agree, it is loosey-goosey fabric, and stitching in hand makes it extra loosey-goosey. But this is how far I've gotten. I am stitching, I believe, 2/2 on this 30 count linen. My needle minder is very heavy, so it's like pulling it down. There we go. So it's like a purpley gray, kind of a warm purple actually, but it's very fun. And with pink, green, and white Treenway silks. So I need to fill in that teacup, and then there's tea bag and bits and bobs around the edges. So I'm not sure how long this will take to finish, but I will give it a day this week, today, and then probably also 2 days next week. And we'll see if that's enough to get it done. And I'll just keep working on it during my focus slot every week until it's done. And that'll be fun. I'm excited to get back to that. I flip-flopped my focus piece slot 2-day rotation and my family piece 2-day rotation. So they're both happening. They're just not in the correct spots. So this is Lollipop by Tilton Crafts. And it doesn't, oh, Denise Garbus is the artist. And this is super cute. This is for my daughter. I have 6 years until she graduates. No, 4, 5, 6, 7 years. I think I can do it. As long as I keep giving it attention. So this is also 40 count Verdal, 1/1, half cross. And here is my starting point on this one. I'm choosing symbols in the 10 by 10 squares along the top and then stitching them in wherever they occur. So that's how this one is looking now. It's all background right now, but the colors are very pretty. So I'm enjoying working on that one. So I'll give that Wednesday and Thursday. And then I'm going to pull out my last Whipgo piece for the month of May on the 31st and the 1st. So it's going to kind of ooze into June, but that's okay. I'm working on this also with Colette, the Highway Stitcher, and that was a time frame that worked really good for her. So this is also a soda stitch pattern, and This is a fun one to pull out. This is, what color is this? I don't remember. This is like a kind of a grayish tan linen, 32 count, I think, 2/2. Maybe platinum or silvery moon or taupe. I'm not really sure. Something like that. So I'm guessing I will probably work on her hair some more. She's also got a bow in her hair, so that's probably what will get my attention this time. Is this gonna change the color at all? So there she is. She's very pretty. I got her face done last time, so I have a sweet expression to enjoy while I stitch. So I'll probably work on hair. The 2 days I will work on her, Friday and Saturday. And then I'm gonna go back to my Celtic Ladies collage for the month of June, and there's 5 Sundays in June, so hopefully I'll get some good progress. I'm gonna do summer quadrant in the month of June. So I worked on spring in March. I'll work on summer in June. I believe September is autumn and December is winter. So they'll get the Sundays in those months. So I have kept this mostly called for, except for the skin conversion, or the skins. So I think these skins are called for, and then this is like a medium skin tone and this is a dark skin tone, because I thought, you know what, it needs to be slightly different. So that is what I'm doing there. Here is, I'll show you the whole thing. This is on 32 count lamb's wool linen, 2/2 full cross. And this is the summer quadrant. I finished a good amount on spring in March, so that's fun to see. And here's summer. So you will see a before and after of summer. I've got her face and a lot of her hair done, so I'll probably work on finishing her hair and getting in some of these medallions started too. I think that'll be fun here in the month of June. So we'll see what sort of progress I can make on that one. I'm curious. If that will be a prettier before picture. A little warmer maybe. We'll see. All right, so I think that's all my plans that I can share. Well, but so probably won't, I may remember to say something next time, but I was thinking about it, and next Monday, Tuesday is my new, starting back at the beginning with my family rotation of pieces. So I should be able to bring out Simpsons. That one got pushed to the side the last couple months because of Dragon Ride. And I think 2 months ago, it got pushed aside because of my model stitch. So has not been focused on that much. And it's for my husband. I figured, you know what? I don't really have a deadline for that one. But I got to thinking. Recently I talked about, I have a project I'm gonna do for my parents' 50th wedding anniversary coming up in 3 years. So I'm like, I have time, I can finish that. Then I realized my husband was born the same year they got married. My parents got married. So he'll be 50 in 3 years also. Can I finish Simpsons by his 50th birthday? I think I can. I think that would be a nice goal to shoot for. Likely I could finish it sooner, but I think that would be fun to try to make sure that happens. And if I did the math and I can do 300 stitches a month, we'll get it done. And I'm even on that one, when I have to kind of sneak in my work on it sometimes, I still usually get that much if I give it a rotation. So and often I get more. So I think it will be doable to finish that before his 50th birthday. So that's a new goal for that one. So I have, all my family pieces have an end goal, which I think is helpful for those ones. Oh yeah, I thought it would also be fun to kind of share verbally at least my Whipgo pulls for June, because those have been called now. I pulled Edwardian Lady by Joan Elliott, which I don't have the cover picture for you here, but that one will be fun to work on. And also, I think the rest of them are all in my book here, so I'll be able to show that because they're all in Pattern Keeper. I did My two full coverage draws were Mini Elegant Lady with a Bouquet by Heaven and Earth Designs, Emile Vernon. And this one is going to be really fun to pull out again. It's a 25 count 1/1 full cross piece. So that's always very soothing to work on. So I think I'll do that one first. And then Fairy Tale Town. Oh, here it is. Originally by Abras Art, which I haven't pulled out in so long that my buddy Julie from Stitching in the Cabin, she thought I might have UFO'd it because I hadn't worked on it in so long. I just have too many other things to work on. So it did get called for June, so I'll give this 2 days in June. I believe I'm probably over here. I think she started on this end, but I started on this end. So, and I'm going to work it in choosing symbols in the column vertically and work this way, which is kind of how I'm going to do Patchwork Quilt Room as well, because it's a long skinny piece also. And then the last one is Mini Princess of the Sea, which is always fun. I'll show you this one. It's by Donna Gelsinger, Heaven and Earth Designs. And I did print out a larger piece. It's still toner save mode, so the colors in the real one are brighter, but that's what that one looks like. And yeah, so I'm excited to work on those throughout the month of June. And for my focus pieces, I'm gonna try to finish Topsy Turvy Tea, and then after that, I'm not 100% sure what will get fit in where. I do want to maybe pop in Shine Bright Sampler in an actual rotation at least once a month to try to make sure that keeps getting progress. Possibly also do that with Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery every little bit. And then I have my list at the beginning of my planner with all the things that I would like to try to finish this year. So I'll just kind of choose from that, whatever I feel like working on. Those Who Sing, I think, is going to be one of the next ones I pull out, which is a drawn thread piece. And I thought it'd also be fun to show you my Whipgo boards now, because when I finish Elegant Lady with a Bouquet, I'll have a bingo. So that'll be my first bingo. I randomized the placement of the numbers on each board, so neither one of them is a straight board, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're all like random. So when she calls things, my board ends up looking different on both boards. So that's fun. This one will not get a bingo yet, but after I finish this call, I'll get a bingo on this board. So that'll be fun. And then I also have my finishes and starts page, which is kind of fun. I've been enjoying tracking this every little bit. The top of each little month section has been my starts, and then the bottom with this warmer color flags have been my finishes. So I got 2 finishes, yay! Here in May. And I am considering Cats and Hearts as finishes and starts. So they're kind of just bonus in there, but I hadn't finished anything except a Cats and Hearts since January, when I finished a Letter Fairy and the little hummingbird small for a present. So it feels really good to get Dragon Ride finished. And then now I can start chipping away at some of my other pieces on that list. So yay! I think that's everything. So with that, I will wish you a wonderful week. Enjoy the rest of your May, and happy stitching. Bye.